Hi, my name is Haley, and today I'll be reviewing Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. I also want to say that this will have spoilers for Chain of Gold, so if you haven't read Chain of Gold, go read the entire Shadowhunter series, read Chain of Gold, and then come back. My first pro would have to be Cordelia, Anna, Lucy, and Matthew. I felt that these four new characters were so good. This kind of segues into my first con, which is James. My problem with James is that he is Will, which I love, but like, where is the flavor? Yes, he can walk through walls, disappear, and fly, but he is just like a nice, fine guy. I mean, I really wish there was a little bit more to him. He's hot, I'll give you that. My next pro has got to be the Cordelia James fake marriage. Wow, I loved that. Cassandra is literally the queen of plot twists. The drama of it all, oh, it was so much fun. My next con, it's gotta be the love triangle. And I don't know if I'm unfairly comparing it to Will, Jem, and Tessa, which is like God tier, the most perfect love triangle. Maybe I am, but I really want Cordelia to be with Matthew. Yes, I am writing the fanfic for it. But I feel like we're really headed on a Cordelia James track, which I guess another Herondale getting another girl. Here we are. My next pro has got to be Cordelia's dad. I really loved that mystery. I thought it was handled really well with the reveal. It really made me love Alistair so much. I feel like part of what made Cordelia such a great character was how much she cared about her family. She was willing to do anything to try and help them, to try and clear her dad's name, and that plot twist of the fact that he really was guilty was just, oh, it really made me feel for Cordelia, and I loved how it was handled. My next con, James's bracelet. Can we talk about James's bracelet? Because I don't know about you, but 2 pages in, I thought that was a love spell. If all the stories are true, come on, Shadowhunters, let's try and piece this together. I really feel like maybe some characters, I can understand them not thinking that it's a love spell. Like maybe his parents aren't really, aware of the whole situation. Maybe like Thomas and Christopher aren't really. I definitely feel like Matthew and Lucy have no excuse. That is a massive plot hole to me. I feel like Matthew and Lucy are gaslighting Cordelia by, all of a sudden when James in the hospital room is suddenly bracelet back on, Team Grace all the way, and Matthew's like, that's weird, I really thought he liked you, and Lucy's like, oh man, I guess I don't know my brother. It's like, yes you do, and Grace is crazy. Grace and her mom, like, I feel like people were not concerned enough at Grace and her mom's situation. They're living in a dump. I'm still so confused, like, who is Grace? She's like the ward of this woman? Like, you need some, like, CPS, please. Especially, like, fairies are real. Like, who knows what's out there? Matthew was quick to believe in that truth potion. Now, all of a sudden, he's a skeptic. Like, I mean, maybe that did make him a skeptic, so maybe this is all on Lucy, but I feel like really someone should have been thinking it through. My final pro is all the Prince of Hell stuff. I thought it was so much fun to read. I really liked James' power, even though James himself was a little bit bland. And I loved Lucy's power, like the scene where she calls the ghosts in the river. Oh my god, I loved it. I love her and Jesse together and that little Easter egg of their initials. I can't wait to see where that goes. I love some Blackthorn necromancy, yes. My final con of the book. Why does everyone have to be an English major? Everyone in this book is constantly reading and talking about reading and like obsessed with books. you know what, for Will and Tessa, I get it and I respect it. And that was like their thing. That's how they fell in love. Very cute. Both of their kids are obsessed with reading, and also their friends. Like, why is everybody's thing reading? I just want a student athlete to join the mix, to liven it up, please. And honestly, I feel like this really ties in to my problem with James, and it could be so interesting. Like, Lucy is Will and Tessa's dream child. She's an author. I'm sure they were like overjoyed. I feel like it could have created some conflict between James and his parents if James was like very into photography or even like movies. I don't really know what the movie scene was like in 1900, but they're shadow hunters, who knows? And that could be like an interesting, not even necessarily conflict, because obviously Will and Tessa would be supportive. They're the best parents. But they could like not bond with James about his love for, you know, photos, and they could even like kind of try to avoid it because obviously they've been burned by technology in the past. And of course they would just love Lucy and her hobby, and that could kind of create in James maybe like a little bit of resentment. I'm not saying I want their family to be divided. I do not want a cursed child up in here. And I'm glad that they were great parents and that James and Lucy are great siblings. But I just think it could be like kind of fun to throw in, even if it was like all in James's head. If he was like, my parents like don't support my art and they think it's just for mundanes, but I'm super passionate about photography and they don't understand me. Just give him something to brood about. And, you know, all the while, like, Tessa and Will, like, actually want to be there for him, but they're, like, intimidated by metal. I don't know. I think that could be, like, something really interesting. And yet, no, James just had to pick up a book and be a librarian at heart. Overall, I would give Chain of Gold 5 out of 5 stars. I really just enjoyed it so much. It flew by. I read it in like 2 sittings, so I couldn't put it down. So let me know what you thought of Chain of Gold down below. One reader's cons is another reader's pros, perhaps. I would love to know what you think. And who is your favorite character and why is it Matthew?